Okay, we're currently on chapter 6 and we are learning about transformations. And when I say transformations, all I mean is when we translate something, which is when you take a shape and you move it from one place to another, up, down, and over on the coordinate grid. That's called a translation. And if you reflect a shape, then it'll reflect over a line, and oftentimes the line is either going to be the y-axis or the x-axis. And rotate will sometimes rotate 90 degrees, sometimes 180, sometimes 270, and we'll talk about what rules go with that. There's one more transformation, it's called dilation, and a dilation is when something is bigger or smaller by a scale factor, and that will be the last concept that we learn. But to start, we're going to talk about translations. So a translation is a transformation where, like I just said, something just moves from one place to another. And oftentimes you're going to be asked to move shapes, but the thing you need to remember is just move one point at a time. It's that easy. Don't get overwhelmed by the shape. Take each point and move it the exact same distance, up, down, over, and that's all there really is to it. So let's say we have this point, and I'll make that a little darker for you. Let's say this is point A, and the coordinates of A are 2, 3. So we go over 2, up 3. Right here, this is our origin. That's always 0, 0. So the x value is 0 and the y value is 0. So like I said, this is 2, 3. So A is 2, 3. And what we're going to do is we are going to translate A. We're going to come up with a rule. Let's say we're going to translate 2 units down and 1 unit right. Now, oftentimes we say right first, then down, but it really doesn't matter. So if we go down 2 units and then 1 unit to the right, we're going to land right here. And that's also going to be A, but it has a special name because it's where we landed. It's not where we started, it's where we ended. And we call that A prime. So the notation for showing where you started and where you finished is A prime. Now if I started here and I moved up 2, left 1, then this would be A and this would be A prime. It basically gives you an idea of which way you moved. And in this case, this is a translation. You're going 1 unit to the right and 2 units down. And the way we express that rule is called translation notation. So TRANSLATION notation. And it looks like this. It's always the x value and then the y value. So we say, what are we going to do to all the x and the y values? Well, we write x, y, comma in between, and then parentheses, and then we put an arrow which is going to indicate our rule. So we can say in this case, if we go right or left, that's always on the x-axis. So in this case, it's going to be x, the x value plus 1, comma, the y value. Well, it says we moved it 2 units down. So when you go down on the y-axis, you're going in a negative direction. So we'd use -2. So this is your rule, and it's called translation notation. Here is how you indicate where you started and where you finished. We call that prime notation. It looks like a little apostrophe next to the letter.